Preface. Come with me, reader. Don't be afraid. I want to hold vigil with you in a season of darkness. Each of us have or will experience some version of crisis and grief. It's universal and solitary. Come into my grief, not to dwell on my loss, but to bring light to this darkness. Perhaps my grief will be a safer place to explore than your own. I promise to hold your hand while you look at it. Turn it over, explore. This is my way of holding out a hand to those who come behind me in this journey. Grief is a holy and hard work, raw, delicate, and wrenching. I understand why we resist. I was afraid of grief. I went searching for frameworks, ways to think about it, something to help me navigate. I learned you walk this path alone, no matter how many are with you. This collection is the evidence of my work, a distillation. At first, it was about managing crisis. Initially, I could only process that with my rational brain. At 3 a.m. in the ICU at the hospital, I was using any scrap of paper from recycling to make notes for myself. It was so important that I didn't make a mistake. I had to write it down to sort it all out. I couldn't hold it all in my brain. It made me feel safe to get it all down. After the initial shock of my husband's death, words began to come. I'm not sure I recognized the words as my own at first. The words burned to come out. I began to process what happened through them. At a time when nothing brought relief, these poems served as a container, a place for grief outside of me. Each one brought the smallest amount of peace. Much longer into my grief, I began painting to express and process what happened. Abstract paintings are visual poetry, a visual language to express something beyond what I can say with words. I needed to use every tool to communicate. Grief brought me mysterious gifts that were incomprehensible at first. They certainly didn't feel like gifts. But over time, I started to feel hints that this really could be true. I started to listen differently. I began to decode these gifts. More and more of the richness of these gifts came to light. I'm truly grateful for what grief has brought to me. These are precious gifts, expensively won. You can't gain them except through great loss. I honor everyone who is on that journey. My hope is that by sharing my experience, you will gain a perspective, some sort of translation, a tool, something that will help you process your own experience, something you can take with you. I share this with you in love. Take my hand, take what you need from my journey, and may you be blessed in your own.